Mic check 1 2 1 2.
My sweet waifu.
Is that you? Mic check. Mic check waifu. Teliano, is that you?
What's up, bro? How we doing?
What's up there, boy?
Oh man, so look, we reviewing Grimgar today.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good episode.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm so excited for this episode. This is episode 46 of Mic Check Waifu. We did give you some required watching or required reading, and that was to watch Grimgar. So I hope you did that. It's going to come in the second half of the show after the break. But as always, Mic Check Waifu is brought to you by Lube Complex. Go to lubecomplex.com and use that offer code Waifu to save on your entire cart. It's also brought to you by our Patreon producers. Thank y'all so much for supporting the show. We just did a fire episode of the After Story podcast. This is the After Story 27, and it's titled We're Different. So go to patreon.com/MicCheckWaifu. Support the podcast at any level and get access to that bonus podcast. We would appreciate that. And also, if you can do us a favor, rate and subscribe to this podcast. That surely help us a lot, and we appreciate y'all if y'all do. Let me go ahead and shout out these Patreon producers properly now. Shout out to D Prince, Connor, and Monique Williams for producing this episode and quite a few episodes of the podcast. We truly appreciate y'all, man. That support is crazy, and we love y'all, and we thank y'all from the bottom of our hearts, for real.
Yeah. So y'all been here since day one.
Yeah, straight up. Straight up. I am using I'm using that RTX voice thing for my voice on the podcast, which is going to be weird. You may not hear my typing this time, so that'll be good. You still going to hear Tells, but you won't hear mine, at least.
The disrespect.
We trying this out, so if it sounds a little bit different, that'll be why.
I'm about to download the RTX with my AMD graphics card.
Good luck with that. So load the show. Like we said, got quite a few things that me and Tel watched that we're going to discuss here in the first half, and then like I said, at the second half we're going to discuss Grimgar. But first and foremost, I do want to start off with that One Piece update. The One Piece update with Polow Born Fly. I should get a little sound bite for that.
Yeah, all right. I completely forgot, bro.
Yeah, you forgot that fast?
I forgot you. Let me go ahead and pull up my One Piece stuff. Go ahead, do your thing. Go ahead, talk.
Okay, so your boy watched more episodes than he did what he did when we talked about yesterday on the After Story podcast. I watched up until 370 today.
That's 20 episodes.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was about 20 episodes, which I'm sorry about, because 370 is where I got to the part where they're on, of course, the was the tree bark or whatever the fuck it's called.
Thriller bark.
Yeah. What that they're on that boat, that giant island boat, and Luffy is about to fight Moria with all the shadows inside of him. So I just left off at that episode, so it's a huge fat ass cliffhanger. And I'm sorry, because I should have just watched one more episode just to see what happened during this fight. But yeah, they basically, the people of the island / boat put 100 shadows into Luffy, and he turned into this big black giant monster. So I can't wait to see how it's gonna turn out. This arc is quietly turning out to be better than Enies Lobby to me. There were a lot of emotional parts in Enies Lobby. Okay, some of my favorite emotional parts, like the one you wanted me to see.
That's what I wanted to talk about.
But before
the episode, go ahead.
Before we talk about that one, though, Robin saying "I want to live" was one of the most powerful moments for me in the show, because she's my favorite Straw Hat Pirate so far. I really like Brook. Brook is basically, he's not in the crew officially yet, but he's in the crew essentially. I'm really liking that. I'm really liking Brook, but he's still Robin. Her character is awesome. La Fleur, or whatever the fuck she do. I love her so much. She's incredible.
So when Robin said, she wants to live, and Luffy came to help her.
Yeah.
It was almost a flashback of like what happened with Nami.
Yeah.
It's better.
Yeah, way better.
And then he got to throw hands with the CP9.
Yeah, with Oh, what the fuck is his name? Oh, big cat dude.
Yeah. So
he was a big deal though.
Dude is raw.
Straight up.
And honestly, I didn't know how Luffy kept getting back up. I mean, I know he got plot armor, but that plot armor almost didn't seem thick enough.
Straight up. Those gears, when they introduced those gears, I'm like, man, what?
Mm-hmm.
Man, what? This man went second gear and then Gatling gunned his ass. I'm like, yeah, this shit is dope, man. This shit is dope. This show is fucking incredible.
When he fell back.
Yeah.
And he just was like, nope, I can't go down like that.
Yep, because he said he would not go down anymore during this fight, and he kept that fucking promise. That shit was ill, bro.
Luffy sometimes just keeps showing us why he's the GOAT. Straight up. The part I really want to talk about, Going Merry.
Yeah, that shit was sad, bro. That shit was
like
sad. It almost brought me to tears. It almost did.
How did an episode like that really hit us so hard, bro?
A boat hit me. I'm like, damn. It didn't blow me back, but it was kind of close. Seeing everybody cry about the Going Merry was rough.
I'm surprised it didn't blow you back though, because you literally binging this stuff. So to me,
yeah,
it almost feels like it should be more fresh for you because you literally seeing what they're going through with the boat.
Yeah,
with they shit.
Definitely attached. The thing with the boat is, I felt like I knew it was they
kind of gave some hints to it.
It was too much of a head start of when it was gonna happen. Like obviously, from the moment Usopp and Luffy fought about it, like that was like, okay, this ship is definitely going down. Everybody said this ship can't sell anymore. So I'm like, all right, I'm prepped for when they say the ship is done. We gotta stop it. Like, but yeah, that was a tough moment. I still think though, Robin, I Want to Live was the toughest for me. That almost blew me back harder than the Going Merry going bye-bye.
So the Going Merry scene is the actual scene that made me start watching One Piece.
Is it really?
Because I was at Colossicon and they were like had a whole panel and they was talking about anime parts that like blew you back. And I had said something about an anime, and basically what ended up happening was like they were like, that was a really good. I'm glad you brought that up. And then everybody started talking about the One Piece episode with the boat because I think it was like relatively new or something like that. And it was like, I was like, I ain't never heard of nothing like that. Why would a boat make you cry? So I went and watched it all the way up to that part, and I was like, I got hooked.
Yeah,
and I kept going. And you know where we at now. We talking about One Piece almost weekly now on Mic Check Waifu.
I gotta keep up the updates. People love it, man, and I love it too. I understand why they love it. I definitely understand. I get it. Like, there's no way we can be as analytical as we are about anime and just not have this in our arsenal. This is one of the best shonens to do it. One of the best mainstream shows to do it, period. Like, straight up. I'm finding myself to like it more than I like Dragon Ball Z. And Dragon Ball Z is the reason why I like anime. The reason why is because there's so much more to One Piece than there ever was to Dragon Ball Z. There's not much to Dragon Ball Z. It's almost like you got a few characters, you got the villains, and you got Bang Bang and it's next. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You got the character, and it's the same in One Piece, but it's way more structured, I guess, story and empathy and just shit attached to the characters that you care more about. Like, I don't
way more mystery.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of foreshadowing. So much well done foreshadowing. It's insane. Like, I just met what's his name? Kuma. Mm-hmm. This motherfucker make people disappear. I'm like, whoa, time out. I quit. I'm done. I don't even know who this guy is. Every single time you meet somebody, you think, how the fuck are the Straw Hats gonna beat somebody like that? Like Rob Lucci was the guy from CP9.
Yeah, Lucci.
Rob Lucci. Like, how the fuck were they gonna beat Rob Lucci? I was freaking out. I'm like, man, this man is a giant cat lion and he's incredible. But they string it along really well. Boy, Zoro got that other sword from that other samurai.
Hey, look, I completely forgot you saw Kuma at this point.
Yeah, Kuma just popped up and he's like, yo, Do you want me to help you with the Straw Hat Pirates? And Big Morio's like, nah, I'm good. You stay the fuck out of my way, basically. And he got inside Oris or Luffy's shadow. And I about to put the pirates down. This is crazy.
Yo,
this is
this
wild,
is
man.
about to be crazy. I just love that you said something about foreshadowing, and you said Kuma.
Because they do such a good job of just like sprinkling a little bit of shit here and there. Like I just
Pretty perceptive. I get you that.
Oh yeah, man. Hey, that's what I'm about, man. With all my anime, that's why my taste is a lot different than a lot of other people's. You know what I'm saying? When you can pick up on that stuff, like in Fire Force does it incredibly well. Yeah, man. I'm loving One Piece. It's definitely getting even better though. It's not just a lull. It drags shit on purpose so fucking much that is almost disgusting. It almost makes me want to puke how far they drag certain shit. But I can't get enough. And that's your One Piece update with Polow.
I just want to say I'm very satisfied with that.
OPP, One Piece update with Polow.
All right. Speaking of One Piece, I watched a random anime on the site that shall not be named. It's literally just the OVA, so it's one episode, but they don't have any like other episodes to it.
Okay.
It's called Cat Shit One.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. What can I say about this anime? I watched it in dub. The voice acting honestly was horrible. I don't know how they could have done better in subs. But it actually wasn't that bad, bro. Like,
the show itself wasn't that bad.
Yeah. And actually I want to go back and read the manga because this Cat Shit One episode, it was like what it's about is the American army or military is a bunch of rabbits. Or this is probably Americans in general, a bunch of rabbits. And we're over in like, let's just say Iraq or wherever for context sake. And we're fighting a bunch of camels.
Okay.
And they just fight. And it's literally like, think of your standard military TV show or episode or movie, but with rabbits. And it wasn't like horrible though. Like I was honestly surprised by it, and it's CGI rabbits and it doesn't look bad at all. So like I was just like, okay, this is it. I took notes.
He took notes.
I took notes.
That's interesting.
All right. Voice acting was trash, but the music was really good. Okay. It seemed like the overall, just the sound of the guns, rocket launchers, the sand kicking up in the background, all of that was on point. It's just the voice acting was trash.
Right.
Perkins, or Packy, Sergeant Packy, he is the main, like, who we're mainly following. He's like a badass, like your typical military badass who like, I got the gun, I got the skills, I got the experience, and he just is doing everything. But he talked a lot of shit about how like his partner had a bunch of extra unnecessary shit on his gun, but that unnecessary shit saved his partner, and his partner saved his ass. And they had some really cool attention to detail, like that I really liked. Like for instance, when his partner got his weapon attacked, the scope came off, and they actually kept the scope off. You know, like sometimes they'll mess that up and forget to put that there. Right. They threw grenades, and the grenades were gone. They changed the clips, like when he removed the clip and put another clip into his rifle, another magazine into his rifle, that magazine was gone from his armor, his body, his flak jacket and stuff like that. They just did really cool things like that. That was like nice attention to detail.
Yeah.
But overall, it was it was actually just pretty legit. Like for a little 25-minute watch, I wasn't mad at all.
Question, did it rap?
It's literally like, hey, we going in to save these two captured people. and that was it. That's why I want to read the manga, because I'm kind of like interested. The manga is still called Cat Shit 1, but it has a different like appeal to it. It looks like you actually see a cat, like it's a giant cat in the background, and I kind of want to see like how that goes, you know. And this one, they're in Vietnam. Oh, this is racist.
Oh no.
Because the cat, now that I'm looking at it, they got the cat looking like an Asian cat.
Oh damn.
But it's made by Asians, I guess. I don't know. Can I say that's racist?
Yeah, I mean, can it be if it's made by them? You know, it's like a
But you know, it's got like a cat in the background. It's a Vietnamese cat, and you know, they go to Vietnam and Apocalypse Meow Volume 2.
That's interesting.
So yeah, I'm gonna go read the manga for this and just see what it's hitting for, if it's actually good or not.
That is very, very interesting.
It's weird. It was random, so I gave it a chance.
So I picked up something, just 3 episodes. This is something I watched a while back, but I wanted to revisit it to see if it's something that I want to continue to rewatch. And it's called Higanagai or Higanagai.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's basically, the title is I Don't Have Many Friends. Okay. It's about this student who was a transfer student who transferred to this new school. Okay. He goes to the new school and he has this condition with his hair where his hair is like blonde in the upper root area and like dark brown in the lower root area. So he has like this his hair just looks so different than your typical Japanese boy, and it's not on purpose. Like it's a birth defect apparently. He goes to this new school, and when he goes to this new school, a bunch of bullshit happens on his first day of school, where he he's late to the class because he takes the wrong bus. So he's late to school. He rushes into the classroom and like accidentally like pushes the teacher on accident because he trips when he's running into the classroom. And then he's like out of breath and he says, I'm the new transfer student. And he goes to sit down. He goes sit down and looks at this girl, digs in his book bag, forgets his book, and then looks over at the girl next to him, and because of his hair, his threatening appearance, apparently. She's like, here. And she gives him his book, and basically she shares with another girl in the class. So now the rumor goes around the entire school that he's this bully that he came into the class, pushed the teacher, stole this girl book, and started to learn like that. So now everybody in the entire school thinks this guy is a big fat, like,
he's a
bully.
savage.
He's an absolute savage, but he's a super normal, nice kid. Okay. He goes to this classroom after school. School is out. He goes to this classroom and hears this girl like talking to herself. She's literally talking to air, but having a full conversation with the air. So he's like, what the hell is going on? He comes into the classroom, and this girl then basically says that I don't have any friends, but I do have one friend. It's my best friend, Tomo, and she's air. So it's an imaginary friend. And she comes up with the idea to start a club called the neighborhood. I think it's called Friendly Neighborhood Club or something like that, or Neighborhood Club, something along those lines. And they start a club, and basically what the club has in it, it's like the way they structure the club flyer is it's like an anagram for we're looking for friends type of thing. So they start a club to basically hide the fact that they're just looking for friends. So they're trying to get people all in this club so they can start to make friends or learn how to make friends. Yeah. And basically the entire show is people joining this club, trying to become friends with each other, doing different methods. Like, for instance, episode 3, they decide, okay, well, playing video games is a great way to meet other people. So let's get our PSPs, because this came out in 2011. Let's get our PSP and play Monster Hunter. And they go through a game. They go through a situation where it's like a comedy driven fan servicey show. It's a very interesting show. I'm gonna put it in the show notes though. It's called
what's the name of that again?
Haganani. I don't know how to say it. Haganai. Yeah, Haganai, because
there's another harem kind of thing too.
Yes, sir. Of course it is.
Of course it is.
But the English title is I Don't Have Many Friends. So
Boko wa Tomodachi ga Sukanai.
yeah, I'm gonna watch it because I don't remember a lot that happens, but I do remember the characters, and that's one thing that's standing out to me is these characters. So I'm gonna continue to watch it, but
I like the art style here.
yeah, it's really nice for something that came out in 2011. It looks really really good.
He looks like our main character, or not our main character's best friend from Clannad.
Yep. Yeah.
I hate him already.
No, he's great.
Oh my god! Forget this guy.
He's actually really good. He's a really good character because he's like the only like logical guy, the only logical person there. I don't remember how he handles all of the attention that he's going to get from the harem-esque thing that's being created here.
Yeah,
but I do know that he's a good character. He is. I'm gonna continue to watch it though. It's funny. I like stuff that makes me laugh out loud.
So, for those of us who follow the actual Facebook group,
hey,
you saw, I don't know if you saw it, but Connor had posted something like, does anyone know what this anime is? And we found out it's called UQ Holder.
Oh yeah, I watched it.
You watched it, the whole thing?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I ain't finished it yet. I'm on like episode 5.
UQ Holder is very interesting.
Okay. I'm glad it's interesting because I was a little worried.
It's not.
The first episode was good. It's everything after that.
Yeah. I didn't like it though.
Okay.
It's interesting, but I didn't like it.
Yeah. First episode was really, really like, I was like, ooh, this is kind of dope.
Exactly. Crazy premise, right?
And then it's like, no, hold on. Hold on to your horses.
It gets different, man.
I think I will say though, 100% what I enjoy the most about it. And it kind of like, after that first episode, I took a whole different perspective on it and just said, this is a comedy. And I think looking at it as a comedy, it felt better. Mm-hmm. But looking at it as like an action fantasy sci-fi, you're gonna have to hold that one.
There's some moments that happen that's really good, like later on in the show, with how to use did you meet other people yet?
Yeah, I met her little clique.
Okay, so
and they had to fight everybody and get a hit off on them.
Yep. Okay, so there's some interesting ways that other people in the show uses their abilities. That comes a little bit later, and it's super intriguing, super interesting in that part. But is it good? Storytelling is a little rough.
Yeah, and like my question is, everybody's immortals, right? Mm-hmm. How we out here killing immortals? And then like, are they really immortals if they got 10 lives? Like, what kind of immortal is that? That's not an immortal. That's a dude who got 10 lives. We just got to kill him 10 times.
Yeah. There's certain people that are immortal. I'm gonna save the spoilers, but
in English, our main character sounds like Ash Ketchum.
Yeah, it's the same. I think it's the same chick, actually.
In subs, I like his voice, like, not at all. I was so disappointed. I was like, I'd rather listen to Ash Ketchum catch immortal Pokemon and shit.
Yeah, it's rough.
This is not cutting it in terms of dub, but actually, like, I like the idea, and I'm considering. I'm gonna finish it. I'm gonna check out the sequel, which is only an OVA. It looks like.
Yeah, I'm about to say because there's no full sequel.
Yeah, and I do like some of the characters, like Kuromaru. I like him a little bit, not completely yet.
The main character?
Nah, the dude that kind of like a girl.
Oh yeah, I like him. And
kind of act like a girl, but I don't really care about none of that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's keep watching because you'll figure out some stuff with that too. It's I like the main chick too.
Evangeline.
Yeah, I love her.
The one who turns into a lolly.
Yeah.
And then into a full-grown waifu.
Yeah. I like her a lot, especially when she's a full-grown waifu.
Oh God. Oh God, Polow.
It's her powers are crazy incredible.
I'd have to agree there.
Yeah,
because we saw her do the raining ice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, she's dope. So before we take this break and do our recommendations, before that, I do want to talk about the fact that we didn't talk about Tower of God last week.
We
and I
didn't?
want no, and I want to talk about it this week.
All right. So let's do our recommendation and then lead with Tower of God after that.
Before the review?
You want to do that? Or do you want to go into Tower of God now?
Let's go to Tower of God now and then we'll take a break.
Boom, let's do it.
Because I want to start off probably with Glimnir after the break before we go into the review. But Tower of God, yeah, this shit, I love it, man. We got, oh my God, I love it so much. Bro, this shit is so interesting, man. The chick, when she hopped off the chair, spoilers for Tower of God at 3 and 4. When she got to the chair, first off, was badass.
Mad easy.
Yeah, super easy. Then when they had to defend the chair, that was even more incredible watching the dude with the sword fight.
He's like threw his sword.
Yeah. And they, oh my God, dude. The show animation is insane, man. It's insane. I love when a basic guy punched a chick and she went spinning around. I love this show, man. This show,
I can't believe you would assault a woman like that.
I know, for one. That's the first thing I was thinking, but I'm like, God damn. That shit was amazing, man. I love the way this storytelling is done too. Like this also has those hints here and there, like peppered into the main plot, I guess. And the main plot being them trying to climb the tower. But the reasoning behind why they're climbing the tower and the methods they're using. This is just a bonus game, by the way. And there's so much intrigue with that because somebody that looks like Rachel is involved. I don't know if she is Rachel. You probably do. So, but I can't fathom how well this storytelling is being done. I love this shit, man.
Oh my God. There's so many points in this that just gets better.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Like,
is it everything you thought when you watching it animated compared to when you reading it? It's
just so much better animated, bro.
Yeah.
Because like I remember dude throwing his sword and I remember a knot going off. I'm interested to see the jihads, like more of the jihad princesses.
Yes. I hope he wins her sword. Well, he's not. I can already tell Bam's not going to take her sword, even if he wins, which he probably is, right? But like,
you'll never know. Storytelling.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I kind of got a feeling, kind of got an inkling.
Okay.
I don't know, but I'm enjoying the hell out of it.
Episode 5. I can't wait till next week we can talk about how Polow didn't know what he was talking about. I actually, honestly, though, I don't 100% remember. I just remember what happens at the end of this, and then to the next part, and then I remember like the big overarching things that happen mostly. I don't remember all the small details.
True,
but
yeah.
25th Bam.
Oh, and shout out to you for recommending Closest Neighbors. I read it.
And
way more different than I thought it was going to be. I'm going to just say that. Way different. I was reading this, I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Is this real? Can they do this? Is this allowed? And then I'm like reading it and I'm super into the story. I'm like, oh shit. Oh shit. Oh, that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? It was moments when I was reading that had me like fucked up. Especially June. I hate you, June. But then you start to like June again. It was wild. It was wild. It was just, yeah. Very interesting. Did you? Yeah.
I finished it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's I liked the ending. Didn't love it, but I liked it.
So like there was the ending. The ending I wanted was for him to go off with the big sister.
Obviously, April
is what I wanted. But that wasn't gonna happen, right? and they kind of gave us this like wrap up, like, oh, he's always actually been in love with, and he's this whole everything he's been doing has really been hurting her, but it's like he does really love her, and he can't really think of anyone else but her.
Did
but
you
it's
believe
also
it
like,
though?
I didn't. I
Me
really
either,
didn't.
man. Me
He
either.
was out here. He was out here smashing
every fucking thing, bro. And I was okay with it, man. I was okay with it. That was an interesting read, though.
He smashed everyone except for the one we wanted him to.
Exactly. That entire is that entire website that basically?
Not all of them, but there's a couple of ones I read. Like there's another one I read that's pretty good. It's about basically a guy gets married into this family, and with this girl, he gets married to this family because like this girl just like basically kind of like fell in love with him. Turns out she's a hoe, and he gets her pregnant. Turns out she's a hoe, and she does a lot of like she cheats on him while they're married and runs off with someone else.
I would never read that.
He wants to keep the baby, and he keeps the baby for himself, and the mom is like his new lover.
Yeah, get that out of here.
Yeah, it was actually really good though. It just like I think I'm a glutton for punishment though, like because it made me sad, and then also just ended up being good.
I'm staying far away from that. Let's take this quick. let's do these recommendations, bro. I almost said take this quick break. You
want to start with yours? I started last week.
Oh shit. Okay,
so I got you.
I can start. So my recommendation is going to be the show Gamers. Okay, this is another. You guessed it. Polow's bringing a slice of life. Oh, let me preface this. I'm gonna preface this by saying every episode of My Check Waifu before we go into our break, and sometimes after, we give 2 recommendations. I give one, and Telle gives one. I try to bring the slice of life. Telle tries to bring. I mean, I don't even know what he's going to bring nowadays because he's been changing it up on me recently. But we try to just bring you something that we recommend, and a lot of you watched it, what we recommend. We appreciate that. So we're going to keep it going. This recommendation is called Gamers. This is another slice of life. It's actually another rom-com. And I'm not a fan of the romedies. You know what I'm saying? I love just the romance, or I love just the slice of life. I don't like it when they try to do romance comedy shit, you know? But lately, I've been finding a few that are good, like the one we just talked about earlier, and this one. Gamers is a show about this kid who goes to school, super normal, average dude. Actually, he's relatively nerdy. He's playing video games in class, and the prettiest girl in the school comes up to him and said, "Hey, why don't you be with me in the Gamers Club?" So, and it goes just like that. He joins the Gamers Club, and it's exactly how it sounds like. It's a club full of gamers. And an interesting romance peek out of it, and it's so crazy because I don't want to say that because it'll be spoilers. Just watch it. It's a romedy. It's pretty funny. It's good the way shit play out. Let's put it that way. And the characters are very much likable. I like them a lot, actually. Definitely one I can recommend. Gamers is definitely an enjoyable show, especially if you like games, because they play like Street Fighter and shit.
Hey. All right. So the one I'm going to recommend is Maria the Virgin Witch. Have you seen this one?
I started it, but I didn't get too far.
I just really like it. Like, I felt like everything about it was actually just low key on par. Animation was good. The story wasn't like shitty like some of the other things I've watched. It just actually was interesting, right? I'll just read the synopsis. The story follows Maria, the most powerful witch who lives during the 100-year war in France. She despises war, so she obstructs battles with her strong magical power. So basically, every time there's some kind of battle going on, she breaks it up with like wind or tornadoes or rain or something like that, so they can't fight. And in heaven, they're like, "Why are you doing this? We need to let them fight." And she's like, "Why would you let these people fight? Like, you're supposed to be angels. Stop letting them fight." And she's breaking up wars, and countries don't like her. They think she's this super evil, overpowered witch, and she's really not evil at all. She just doesn't want people to fight. And the story kind of plays off of that. Has a really cool kind of like twist in the end.
Came out in 2015.
I say check it out.
Yes, yeah. I started this. Okay.
Yeah, I just say check it out. Finish it. I think it's worth finishing for sure.
Okay. All right.
And it's only like 12 episodes, right? Yeah.
I'm gonna set this plan in then. Make sure you guys follow our Annie List pages, by the way. That's dope. That's a dope one. All right. So we're gonna come back with some Glipnir talk and the review of Grimgar, a Fantasy of Ash or something like that. We're gonna come back with that review and probably a little bit more. So thank y'all for sticking with us. Thank y'all for rocking with us. We'll be right back after this nice, chill, relaxing tune. Welcome back to my Check Waifu episode 46. As always, go to teespring.com/store/my Check Waifu to get some of the podcast merch. And when you do, dude, I love that hoodie. Telle's rocking the hoodie right now for the audio listeners. And the point of that hoodie, which is it's just a hoodie with the MCWW on it, is when you're looking at it from a distance, all you see is a white line and a red line. But when you get up close, you see the MWW in it. I think that's dope. But go to teespring.com/store/mic-check-waifu to check out that hoodie. Tell.
Speaking of which, the gear is still coming.
Oh yeah.
So I know Connor just ordered his hat, and it comes I think on Tuesday.
Dope. Okay, so if you order something from teespring.com/store/mic-check-waifu, which is in the show notes, they're still shipping. So check that out.
All right, Polo.
Uh-oh.
So here's the news. This is to me, it's kind of some good news. And it changes my mind on Demon Slayer in terms of like how critical I was on it, which I actually don't think I was super critical on Demon Slayer, but
we were
Demon
about
Slayer,
average, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But Demon Slayer has broken records already, but it just broke a new record. So in 2011, One Piece set a record for the most manga sold in a year at 37,996,000 copies. 37 million copies, basically, almost 38 million.
Mm-hmm.
Demon Slayer has surpassed that record at 38,191,000 copies.
Damn.
Right? Now, the issue with Demon Slayer beating this record, is that it still has half a year left. Demon Slayer beat One Piece's highest record ever set.
Oh shit!
With half the year left.
Damn, but it's still like 17 more years of One Piece, right?
Yeah. Now, One Piece has 400 million overall copies sold. But we're talking about just for 1 year sold amount of copies.
Shit.
They beaten One Piece's highest year. Highest every year.
Wait, time out. Okay, let me put this in perspective. Let me make sure I'm understanding this correctly. So Demon Slayer has sold 38 million copies of the manga, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's only April.
Yep. And they started in November. They started counting in November. From November to April, they sold
incredible
38 million copies. In comparison to One Piece selling 38 million copies in one full fiscal year. So 12 months, and this has been done in 6.
That's insane.
So we looking at what I'm gonna say is a shift almost, and this is crazy, man. Like that's ridiculous to think.
Yeah. From just I
take back the mean thing I said.
I mean, you didn't say anything mean about it.
Yeah, I guess not. But go ahead. What were you gonna say?
That's crazy. That's crazy. It must get wild. Sorry, Tell, I'm keeping you from reading because I know how bad you wanted to.
Yeah, I don't want to leave you behind.
Don't do it, bro. Don't do it. That show is pivotal. Natural reactions are pivotal.
You're right.
For when that shit,
when it gets real all over again, when it comes back.
Yep.
All right. Now we switching gears into what? Gleipnir, right?
Yes, sir. Let's talk about Gleipnir for a little bit. Episode 4 Gleipnir, so spoilers ahead if you haven't watched Gleipnir, episode 4. So I guess neither one of us was right, but I think you were closer to being right with this one. They are going to eventually fight it out. They didn't become the trio like I said.
Yeah.
Nor did they fight in this episode.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't really a fight. It was more like she got dogged and she was like, oh no, this is my sister. I don't really want to kill you.
Yeah. I did this for you. I'm going to protect you. But we did get the lore though.
Mm-hmm.
Got a little bit of the lore. Do you like the little bit of lore we got?
I'm all for it. I like sci-fi, interstellar kind of stuff. Yeah, the lore itself, I think, is pretty cool. I'm confused by the vending machine, though. But I still think it's cool. Like, I wish that could be this world. Like, hey, let me put this gold coin in this vending machine.
I understand the vending machine aspect because when he explained it, he said, I got to find all my friends. All of his friends are basically the coins. but I don't understand the whole that why does them finding his friends the coins and using it in this vending machine causes them to get powers like that?
So,
I don't like at all.
and that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's the vending machine, right? Because he was saying like more or less it's the drink, right? The drink
It's
is
the
like
drink, yeah.
this gene manipulating microbe, which
What that aliens are.
That was the part to me that made sense.
Right.
So to me, like I thought like,
so
okay,
no, let me I guess clarify what I'm trying to say. I understand the what the drinks are, and I understand why they're getting the coins, because like what better way to collect coins than to build a vending machine? Because people
but
pay.
Why the drink?
But why give him the drink as a reward is what I'm saying. Why?
Yeah.
That's
also another thing too, like, right? Like, what was the benefit to giving them the drinks? Because I feel like if there's no benefit to because he is essentially our current antagonist, even though he doesn't really seem evil, he's our antagonist.
Yeah, he is, yep. He's not, but he is. It's so weird because he's like, I'm a nice alien, don't worry. It's fine, guys. I'm okay. I'm here to help you. So hey, if you give me the coins, we'll give you this reward, basically. But now all you're doing is ensuing chaos into this world that didn't need this shit.
Yeah, but I get like why would that matter to him as long as he gets his people back, right?
Right.
Like he don't really care. He just want to get his friends back. And I guess that realistically that is a great way of finding people. Just give them things that makes them feel like they're doing something special. But then it's also like, I don't know.
I think this is for me, because I know you said you like the premise of it, the whole interstellar premise. But I think when this was introduced and the way it was introduced, it fell apart for me. Like, because there's no logic behind any of his motives, I guess. If he just wants to be entertained, which he kind of said that, but he kind of didn't.
I entirely agree with you. I like interstellar and science stuff, right?
Yes.
I'm not saying that makes any sense though, because to me, like I agree, the logic here is like thinner than thread. I don't see it. Now, that's not what actually ripped it apart for me, because I feel like there is time to make up for that logic later.
True.
What kind of bothered me more or less is like Claire. I'm still not feeling her, bro.
Same.
I'm just not feeling her.
Same.
Like I'm liking Alina way more.
Yep.
Mifune, I'm liking her.
I like Mifune for sure.
I think I'm liking everybody but Claire. Like I'm even like an old alien dude who wanted to fill Claire up, even though she's a minor.
Yeah. Right.
He don't know no better. He an alien. But I'm just like I'm not feeling Claire, bro.
There's still something about her that just don't sit.
So the thing that really got to me was like she's saying, "Hey, I won't use the coins. Don't you worry, because I have you." So she's basically saying she's going to make him use the coins. I did like his little like sign of growth though.
Yeah.
Because to me, it means that he's already inherited like his second coin, right?
Yeah.
Which gave him his second drink, which gave him stronger. He was stronger now, and it showed like a visible change in his ability. Like he wasn't just like strong when he was in his suit. Now he's like physically strong when he's just out, and like he's walking around. The dude tried to throw a punch, and he just caught his hand like, "Hey, yo, chill! I'll break this bitch off you."
Yeah. Did you notice the mental
mental change? Yeah, that was cool because he
esque.
It wasn't as deep as Kaneki.
Yeah,
I think because I feel like he still has like Kaneki still had like some good in mind until he was fully broken.
Right.
But he has the good in mind in terms of like, what if someone wanted to do this, and he's trying to think of like how like I have to do this to make sure that no one gets hurt, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I liked that it felt like he has a goal now, something he actually personally wants to do outside of Claire.
Yep.
Because Claire's not giving him the buns, he's giving her the buns.
Yeah, that made him so much better as a character for me than in prior episodes, because it's before he was just like I kind of like him for wanting to be regular. Like I kind of like, yo, I got put in this situation without any like understanding of why or where, and I still want to know why the fuck Claire's sister has such a big hard on for Suichi. That's his name, right?
Yeah. We got time. Maybe because we don't know where his parents at. Maybe she killed his parents.
I thought his parents died before he moved to the school, though. Didn't they say that?
Is that I can't remember.
Yeah, me either. Me either.
I just thought he was by himself anyway. Whatever.
Yeah.
We gonna. I'll go back and figure it out. But that's the thing is like we don't. Why does she have a heart on for him? Either way, like I like her more.
Yeah, same.
And I love her. I like her form too. Her form is low key dope when she go. I loved how she could how she transfers, like she's not fully there, and then she is there, and then she's super nice, and then she's like, "I'll kill you."
Yeah, straight up.
I love all that. That's my energy so much. Right there.
I wish it was her. I wish it was her that partnered up with our guy, and they had it turned into a buddy cop movie.
If she's in that. If she's in that suit, bro, if she was in the suit, it'd be a wrap.
Oh my god!
He opened his mouth, she just come out the mouth and wrap him up, and then he come through with a punch of the gun. I don't know, bro. They could be fired. Or
she's in them and she makes him dissolve with her, and they just kind of misty, fucking powerful ass bear. Oh thing. Man, that'd be insane.
Too bad, writers.
Too bad, man.
Y'all need a different storyboard.
Straight up.
But can we talk about what's important?
Yes.
I need this.
Yeah, me too. I need to prep myself. Sorry for the pregnant pause.
All right, guys.
Yeah, here it is. We asked you guys last week to watch Grimgar, a fantasy and Ash. Grimgar is an isekai that is so interesting. It's in my top 5. Will it be in my top 5 after this review? Let's find out.
Mm-hmm.
So where do we want to start? Oh, for those of you that don't know, our review system, we have an official review scale. MCWW official review scale goes a little bit like this. We have 5 categories. We rate those 5 categories each individually. Then we take those 2 scores, we average them together, and we give our overall total score after we average those 5 categories together. So for instance, do you have our reviews pulled up at all?
You want all the reviews or you just want the scale?
The scale, sorry.
All right. So our review scale is pacing, story, animation, sound design, and characters. Those are what we base our reviews off of.
Yep. So we each individually rate those different categories with different scores. Then we average those different scores to get a main score. And we take that main score and we average that together to get our official score itself. Now, we've done quite a few reviews, actually, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I can find all of our reviews here. It's in our Google Docs, so I should have had this pulled up. Sorry for my lack of preparation, but here it is right here. All right, so here's the anime we've rated so far, okay? I'm going to start from the bottom and work our way up. At number 10, we have Dr. Stone with a 7.8. At number 9, we have Darwin's Game with an 8.5. At number 8, we have Erased with 8.75. Number 7, we have Beastars at 8.85. Number 6, we have Demon Slayer with 8.8. At number 5, we have Vinland Saga with a 9.25. At number 4, we have Promised Neverland at 9.3. At number 3, we have Fire Force at a 9.35. Number 2, Clannad at a 9.8. And number 1, obviously, is Astra Lost in Space. And in the Hall of Shame, Demon Lord Retry has a negative 7.75. So that's a bad anime. Don't watch it. Here we are.
Unless you want to agree with our rating.
True. True. Or disagree. That's fine too.
I don't think that's possible. All right. All right.
I want you to start first.
All right. So let me sing you the praises of our Lord and Savior, Grimgar, Fantasy and Ash. This anime is by far one of the best pieces of art I've ever physically seen, physically watched, ever had to endure, because I didn't have to actually endure it. It just felt, well, I guess there were some parts I had to endure because it was just too much for my heart.
Same.
Honestly, it's like There is so much about it. So like I actually took a little bit of notes on this too.
Ooh, I love when you take notes.
The characters in this scenario, obviously this is the isekai. If you didn't know, now you know. The characters in this scenario are extremely relatable. When they come in, they're in a group of people who are all in the same predicament and don't know where they are and what they're doing.
A large group too.
Yeah. They start getting put apart in teams. Everyone makes teams. And our group that we're following is like, they're the leftover, you know? They're what everyone assumes is the weakest, what no one really cares to gather with, that kind of thing.
Yes.
And they come together as a group, and they actually, like, they don't necessarily gel together well, but they start to understand each other because they're fighting, you know, life or death in this scenario together. The voice acting in this is amazing.
It's incredible, bro. Oh my god. It's incredible. I forgot how good it was until I watched it again, because this is when so let me say
I watched it in subs and I felt every word. I know you watched it in dubs, but I
did both though. I did both. I see, when we do a review like this, I always take the first 2 episodes and I watch them both subbed and dubbed. Both the subs and the dubs were fucking incredible. Incredible, dude. The subs were definitely probably hitting harder for sure. And only because, again, I don't understand the language. So when they yell certain stuff, it sounds believable. I don't speak Japanese at all. So
yeah.
I don't know exactly if it's good or bad. People from Japan is probably like, no, that shit is terrible. But we wouldn't know because we don't speak the fucking language. But it sounds like when you're reading the words that they're saying, it sounds so emphatic that it's believable. The dub did so fucking well too. They did have to change some stuff around, and all of it still makes sense for the story. They didn't rewrite the whole shit like they do in some dubs. They wrote it, and they wrote it well enough to where you can feel the important pieces, right?
Yeah.
And those first 2 episodes, switching back and forth between the 2, I'm like, yeah, this is good. This is a good dub. This is how you figure out if a dub is good or not, by doing this.
So one of the things I want to bring up that I feel like I didn't really pay attention to my first watch through, my second watch through, my third watch through, but on this watch through, being a little bit more analytical, one of the things I paid attention to was the fact that first goblin kill was like super important. Yes. Like it was a lone goblin by themselves. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people fighting this goblin, and you know that individual goblin kill was uber important, like just to kill this one goblin, because that's where their growth started. You know, like
that feeling they got when they cut it. It was like, you know, it was like you felt it, like, oh shit.
But it wasn't even just that, like, because it was that, but it's also the fact that like they're listening, like this goblin is fighting because he doesn't want to die, and they're fighting because they don't want to die. Like, and when Ranta has to like go back and stab it several times over and over just to like make sure, not even that, just to make sure the goblin is dead, because it almost came back and hit our dude Haruhiro. Yeah. Right? It almost came back and hit our main character, and it's like, why was that so impactful? Like we know why it was so impactful, but it felt important. It felt like it was harsh, like it was way harder than it needed to be. It felt like you were traumatized, but it was immediately like a point of growth. It
was insane. So I kept thinking about it like this, okay? When I was watching this, I'm like, all right, how am I going to say this on the show? And this is what I came up with. This is like watching Sword Art Online, right? But it's like watching Sword Art Online when Kirito is destroying those generic faces players in the game. Like when he has to fight through like really generic like player characters who are not even important. They're just there to show how powerful Kirito is. It's like watching them live this life. It's insane because, again, goblins are the weakest enemy in this game. And it's not like Goblin Slayer where you have some people go in thinking they can fight goblins because it's easy and then they get murdered. It's kind of like that, but it's so much more important because these you care so much more about the characters' individualities and how fucking difficult all of this could be or would be in a situation to where you get teleported to a world knowing nothing at all. Like the people in Goblin Slayer, they went with confidence because they're like, oh, these are goblins. This will be easy. These people don't even know why they're in Grimgar. You know what I'm saying? Like it's,
another cool aspect that I really enjoyed was the fact that obviously they're in the beginning, they're only hunting goblins because goblins is all they can afford or actually strong enough to beat.
Yeah.
And after the first episode of them killing a goblin, you realize that like they're fighting more and more goblins, but you can see like there's now a goblin patrol.
Yep.
The goblins are realizing, okay, there's goblins dying. How do we mitigate that, right?
Yep.
It felt like the world around them was breathing and actually thinking, right? And yeah, evolving. And it happened even further on. I ain't hop right into the spoilers yet, but like for instance, when Minato,
before we do that, we are going to spoil Grimgar from here on out. This is going to be the full spoiler section. So if you haven't watched Grimgar, go watch it. It's worth it. Subs or dubs, they're both phenomenal. Now, some pieces, they're kind of slow, but it's intentional, and I love that. So we're gonna talk about full spoilers right now. So if you haven't watched it, go watch it. Turn the podcast off, go watch it. If you have, then join us on this journey. Let's go. So yeah, when Minato bit the dust.
Yeah.
To
me, that was like uber impactful. Yeah, and it was like it showed us that these goblins were paying attention, and now they're patrolling because other goblins are dying, and Minato gets killed, right? We saw that the goblins know how people fight, and that evolution was what kind of brought to the forefront that this is not just like your Sword Art Online where your characters are overpowered.
Yep.
This is a show or a series where you are literally having regular people learn how to do something that's more than regular, and they have to grind to be more than regular. And we see the people who are picked first in the bunch, who were viewed as the strongest, they're thriving.
Yeah. We don't know nothing about them because they got out of the voluntary housing. They're in the world. We're just in a small little subsect of this world, and we barely go any further. They go into one dungeon, essentially. One dungeon that has multiple floors, and they have still so much trouble. But the thing that Telle's talking about with Minato, what's crazy is how well this fucking show tells this story. Now, some of the writing is a little iffy here and there, but the way it tells how the goblins figure out that Minato is the healer, right? They figured that out. But the problem was Minato was healing anytime.
And he was a tank.
Well, not even that. He was healing every single time somebody got a fucking scratch. So not only was Minato using all of his magic, right? But he was showing the goblins that he was the healer by always healing them. So the goblins was like, shit, well, we need to make sure we take him out first. And that became, you didn't realize that until later when they met Mary. So it's like, it's mind blown when I watched it this time. Like, because I didn't even put that into perspective. Like, I knew, the goblins figured out he was the healer. But I didn't think about the way that they set it up with showing him healing. Because they show every heal that he's ever casted intentionally. They did that on purpose to show that, hey, these people, he's healing a lot. Every time they even get a scratch. And the goblins are seeing this. So they're like, okay, we already got the goblins evolving. Let's make sure they understand that he's constantly healing, so he's the healer. Because other than that, you wouldn't know who the healer is if they're only healing when it's absolutely necessary. It's so great.
And he was the first into battle and the last out.
Yep.
Right. So that didn't help either.
Because their methods were not.
And to me, like, it made sense that when Mary joined their party, why she was so skeptical of them, right? Because first of all, she already knows that, you know, everyone knows that Minato died.
Yeah.
Okay. Which means they let their healer die. She might not be pushing that off on them immediately, like, hey, you guys are shitty because let your healer die. But she also has to sit there and think, like, these guys let their healer die, I have to look out for myself first. And I don't necessarily think that was her personality, but that's the reality of a scenario that, like, if you introduce somebody into your group and you're the group that just let their healer die, like, how's everyone gonna look at you?
Right.
Or
so she was a little skittish because that probably was part of it.
We don't even know how to successfully organize a party to beat goblins, which is the weakest of everything in here, right? She's already a full-fledged adventurer, volunteer. So, like, why is she, she's already on a whole other level.
Yeah.
That was one of the things I looked at that kind of like made me say, you know what, it makes sense. That's not necessarily what she was doing, because she had her own reservations, right?
Right. So, and that's not, and what's so great about the show is I didn't take that like that at all. Mm-hmm. From the multiple times I watched it, the way that Mary came into the party, the reason why she's joined the party is because she had nowhere else to go. Because guess what? She was standoffish to everybody, not just our heroes, but to all the heroes that she's ever partied up with. And that's why they kicked her out, because she was just so hard to deal with, because she was scarred. She was hurt. She was like, I can't get close to anybody else, because if I do get close to somebody else and this happens, I'm going to break, even though she was already essentially broken.
Yeah.
That's the only way I took it, which is crazy because I didn't even think about the way you're saying it, and it completely makes sense too.
Well, they made that way clear, like clear that, hey, she's obviously hurt.
She's been kicked out of every party she's ever joined after.
And the reason I thought about it that way is because initially watching it, they don't tell you why she's being such a dick.
Yeah.
To them, they just tell us she don't have a party, and we assume she don't have a party because she's mean. Yep. But it's also like, in my mind, it kind of just clicked that, well, maybe she don't want to be with y'all because y'all let y'all healer die. I'm like, how would I feel if I'm in a World of Warcraft game, I'm the healer, and I keep getting hit by all the AoEs and stuff, and y'all don't.
But here's the question I have for you: would you say yes in the first place?
Probably not, because she needed them. She needed, and that's what you're saying though, is that she needed someone to be with, right?
Exactly.
So that's the beauty of it. They hit it from so many different angles.
Yes, man. Yes.
If
you're not watching it carefully, you can miss it. You can even you can miss a lot if you're just not watching it, just in a sense of like focused on how the again, inner monologue is being told with certain characters, like, or our main character, like his inner monologue, how our hero is so important. Like, am I doing this right?
He's literally doing exactly that. He's asking how would Minato respond to this situation, and then he literally just goes straight into responding to it. Mm-hmm. And then the person is talking, and he says, well, I guess it's kind of like what I would have expected from that, and should I be really second guessing this? And then he goes back into the conversation. It's like it all just flows so well, and the pauses, they felt natural. Like if you took out his inner monologue, and then he still spoke, it felt like it was still natural. Mm-hmm. It didn't feel like that inner monologue wasn't supposed to be there, but it also felt like if it wasn't there, you still got the gist of what was going on.
Exactly. Of his inner thoughts. All right, let's start reviewing it, because we're diving deep.
All right, you want to start with pacing?
Let's do it. Well, the pacing, man, it's 12 episodes. I just wish there were more, man. I wish there was a season 2. The pacing was great. From the moment it started off with them fighting a goblin, okay? Or trying to fight goblins, and they fail miserably. And you automatically see that these people that we're watching right now are not skilled at all. And then it transfers over to what's happening, what this world is about, what's going on. And it feels right. It feels right from the moment it starts to the moment it ends, even with the downtime. The downtime is so important to the stories. The training they have to do with their respective classes is incredibly important too. The one problem I had was I guess this doesn't have anything to do with pacing, so I'm gonna save it for when we get to this other category. But I'm going to say the pacing was a 9.5 for me.
Okay,
for sure.
I gave the pacing a 10. And the reason I gave the pacing a 10 is because to me, like every instance in like every episode felt like it was scheduled, but like you didn't necessarily have to expect it. It was needed.
Yeah.
The downtime, like you said, everything felt needed. It didn't feel like it was rushed. It felt like they carved this show for like the viewer. Like, hey, look, here's where you're gonna go, and this is what you need to see, and this is how it's gonna work out for you.
That's exactly
you might shed some tears, you might not, but this is the show, and you're gonna either love it or hate it. And it was like perfect to me, in my opinion, like to how it was paced.
Right. It's like they carved it for TV.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
You need a second to breathe here before shit gets real. You know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like I love that. Like they had every episode had that intensity where they were fighting up until they finally got the goblins that killed Minato, and then they had that episode of like reprieve where they were taking their time. They took their time to fully mourn because they didn't really fully mourn. They were sad and they got back into action because they needed a healer and they took their time to mourn. Yeah. I thought the pacing was like perfect. I gave it a 10.
Yeah.
The next topic or next section is story. The story to me, the only downside to the story to me is that it didn't have more.
Yes.
I would love a season 2.
Mm-hmm.
But I think where it ended, it leaves you on a cliffhanger, yes, but there's a lot of resolution there. Everything was resolved except for the fact of how they're going to get out and what they're going to do next.
Yep.
You know, that's the only thing that's not resolved. And
or the world. What is this place? Why are we here?
Yeah. And like I said, that's more or less like figuring more things out. But it's like they leave you with those like cliffhangers to kind of give you, I guess, hope for more in the future, which shits on my soul.
Yeah, because it's supposed to be, and then something happened, and they never updated us since.
Yeah. I gave the story a 10. I felt like in some cases, I don't think you can really get a better story than that.
I would have to agree. I would agree that it's a 10 for sure. I feel like it's just so sad that we're not getting any more. Came out in 2016. Chances of more coming is slim to none.
Guess we stuck to Grimgar fan fiction.
Yep. I might read the manga.
I was thinking about the same thing.
They didn't even get that far in that either, but I'm probably going to read it.
The next segment is animation.
Oof, my goodness. Okay. So we just had a discussion before we started the podcast on what do you consider animation? Is it visual? Is it the way it's drawn? Or is it the actual animated scenes of the animation? Which I kind of lean more towards the actual animated part of the show, which is the movements, the transitions, the frame by frame shots and what you get. And I must say, visually, this is the most beautiful show of all time. Like, of all time. It's hand drawn. The backgrounds are all hand painted, hand drawn. It's a mixture between drawn and painted. It's fucking, it still has depth of field views with its painting / drawings. The world literally is almost a standstill picture, but it still feels so fucking alive. I love it. The way they move when they fight, beautiful. Hidehiro when he's riding a stream with his dagger to cut whatever he's cutting, it's phenomenal. Now it's not, again, my threshold with animation is Demon Slayer Fire Force. This is gonna have to only get a 9 because it's just not Demon Slayer Fire Force, but visually it's absolutely the most beautiful show ever. animation wise, the way they move, I love the way Yumi would move when she would like either shoot her bow or she would roll or she would even fucking crawl on the ground. I just love her so much. Um, I I love whenever our girl casts a spell. What's her name?
Shihiro.
Yeah, Shihiro. When she would cast a spell, how good it would look. It was great, but
she would write the spell out in the air.
Yeah, yep. It was great, but again, it was not. It wasn't Demon Slayer.
So you giving it a 9?
A 9.
All right. So my favorite part of this entire series was more or less how like everything felt alive. Like when they were draping on something, it was draping. One of the scenes that really to me felt like livelihood was when Minato took that arrow, right? The goblin was like hanging from the house, just sitting there hanging, and the way he kind of flipped over, rolled over, pulled out his crossbow, shot it, and then he used his feet to like re-notch it. You know, that to me, like all of that
attention to detail.
Yeah, the attention to detail in the animation, like how things move, was beautiful. My only real gripe with it is the fact that they had like still photos moving like scrolling to the side.
I love it.
But they were beautiful photos, you know, they were beautiful hand-drawn images. So like it felt like a water painting freshly painted in front of you and you get to see it. It was beautiful. I'm giving it a 9.5 because like my complaint to me just isn't really justified to take away a whole point.
Yeah.
It was just beautiful. Everything. Motion was smooth. I don't remember like any stuttering. Like the fight with Death Spots.
Oh my God, yes, dude. Oh, dude, when he was like, injured, bro.
Come on, bro.
Oh, that was insane.
Come on, bro. It's just too much. Sound design.
Okay. This is the only thing that's gonna bring it down for me. I did not like this music. It was a lot of it, and I just didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy some of the rocky, poppy music that they had in it. Some of the sad tones were okay, but for me, I know this is supposed to be a you thing, but I had to get my -1 in there. This is my -1. And by negative, the ambiance was good, but they had a lot of songs that weren't great for me personally. It's just not my type of music. I didn't rock with it. So I'm gonna go with a 7. Because the ambiance was still good. Yeah.
And to me, I think that's what I'm going with. Is I think that the for the sound design, it to me it's its weakest point. But to me, like I said, the ambiance, like for where they placed the songs and everything like that, I think they placed them properly.
Yeah, absolutely.
So to me, I'm gonna put that over like my personal interest in the music, even though like I actually enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed the music. I thought it was on point for what they played. Yeah, I think there probably could have been better music.
Yeah.
But also, like I said, notching the bow, firing the bow, casting the spell when she's writing, you hear her fingers moving through the air. When she threw the knives, and there's just like death spikes busting through the wall, and or death spikes busting through the walls. It's just there's a lot that to me just felt good. Like when Mary was like shaking and horrified, like you could like almost hear the tremble in her voice when she spoke. Like that's just voice acting, but like to me that was beautiful.
Mary's great.
I'm giving the sound design a 9.
Damn. Okay. All right. Yeah. Every time I heard a song come on, I'm like, yeah. I winced. So
it wasn't hitting for you.
It wasn't hitting. But again, the ambiance and everything that you said around it is the reason why I got a 7.
Yeah. All right. characters.
I'll let you go first.
Straight up, I feel like the roles they gave their characters are the roles they were supposed to have.
Yes.
You either love the characters or you hate the characters, and really, like, even if you like I said in my notes, every character, in my opinion, is relatable in some sense.
Yeah.
Shihiro, she is your shy, timid female character, but she wants to be of use, so she chose like the magic spells that debuff enemies and does damage, right?
Yeah.
Yumi, she doesn't even know how to use a bow, but she's gonna learn, and she's the adventurous type, so it actually suits her personality. Moguzo, he is our knight who is in the front, saying thanks when he swings a sword. Come
Gentle
on,
giant. Thank you.
Right. Minato is the leader who wants to be a little bit of everything, and he's taking it upon himself without necessarily telling everyone that he's doing this, but he's moving in essence and in value to the group. Ranta is the guy who he has no problem with the current leader, being Minato at the time, and he is kind of just like wants to be of assistance. He isn't necessarily here to be friendly. He doesn't mind being friendly, but he's here to kind of figure out and survive. Haruhiro, he's just trying to figure out as he goes and is more or less shocked when Minato dies, and now he has to become the leader, and he's learning and becoming more. He's coming more into himself. The main dude who is like, what's his name? What's his name? Big dude. I don't know his name. Renji. Renji was like, I almost thought he was gonna be a villain when I first turned it on, but really he's just like the OP dude. He's our Kirito.
Yep.
But he doesn't have any disrespect. He's the quiet type, but he's coming to show love.
We don't know him at all. His dub voice actor was fucking dope too.
Right. Brittany was pretty funny. I love that little interaction with Brittany and Renji.
Yeah.
It was like, you're the type that I like. Next time you call me, whatever you call me, you won't be here for long. I'm just like, I like that. I like that move.
And he was, he almost killed him.
Right though, right. First 5 seconds into the game,
straight up.
I gave the characters a 10.
So I'm not gonna give it a 10 only because there were some characters I just hated. And it was the one character probably in the dub version that did not sit well with me, and that was Ranta. His voice is kind of almost unbearable, but it fit. It literally like the voices fucking fit the characters that they were. Like whoever casted them, it fit dub wise, and Ranta's voice fit, but I still just didn't like it. I didn't like his personality either. Like especially towards the end when he was trying to cause unnecessary beef. It seemed like that part of the story where I was gonna like make this a part of the pacing too, because I kind of like unnecessarily kind of halted their progress. Yeah, but that's why I wanted to bring it here. Ranta was the biggest, I guess, damper to the story to me, because everything, like, you're in a situation to where this is literally life or death. The bullshit aside that you have, or the bullshit like slight beef, should all go out the fucking door for anybody that's in a life or death situation, to where the only way you can survive is if you work together. And that he was literally trying to go the opposite way. Why? Yeah, it just didn't sit right with me. I loved everybody else to death though. Like, I loved Mary from the moment she joined, and when she was talking shit to everybody. I still liked her character. Smoke. Yeah, she was straight about the smoke. I love the fact that Minato he didn't have to be a part of their party. He was actually one of the stronger people who was offered to be in a stronger party and said, no, I'm going to be with these guys. I would rather lead these guys. So, I mean, his character was incredible. Big Moguzzo, the Geno Giant, was awesome, man. He was one of my favorites. He loved to cook. He loved to carve. Everybody was great except for Ranta. And I'm going to have to say that's the only reason why it's not a 10. So I will go with a 9 only because of Ranta. Because everybody else was like perfect cast wise. You know what I'm saying? Like, Yumi. I just love Yumi. And her idiocy. She was saying a lot of wrong terms. It was so adorable. I loved it.
I do want to let you know the only reason I laughed was because when you was talking about Ranta, I was thinking about his demon. Die, Ranta, die. Vice. Go ahead and die, Ranta. Die. I'm just like, yo, why is he so crazy? This is the demon you've been talking about all this time. Yo, he just wants your life, bro. He wants you to die. Oh, that was great. That made me think of like how when you said Ronto was annoying, I was like, yeah, that sounded about right. His demon was like that.
Yep.
All right. So, with the official mic check waifu grading scale, Polow, the one and only, the great, has presented Grimgar, one of his top 5, right?
Yes, sir. It's my number 4.
With a 8.9 out of 10. Whereas it is subjective. I have presented Grimgar, which is not in my top 5, a 9.7 out of 10.
Jesus Christ.
I think it's damn near perfect, bro. I told Monique to watch this shit with me. Putting Grimgar at a 9.3.
I'm okay with that. Just a 9.3 flat?
Yep. And it puts it at the same level as Promised Neverland.
Yep. So because we rated Promised Neverland first, it gets that spot ahead of it. Yeah, I'm okay with that. So now, yeah, I'm adding it to the doc right now. I'm okay with that. That's a great score. That's a great score. And it's by the way, spoilers, it's still going to be in my top 5. Mm-hmm. Like objectively speaking, I went into a little bit more analytical this watch through, but I still enjoyed it the exact same way. Like this is one of the top stories in anime for me personally, and character development and just pacing and development in the show period. It's perfect.
Every episode was a development.
Yep. It was something to glean for. And
yeah, I remember being absolutely shook by this show when I first watched it. Yeah. You know, I think the only reason I watched it is because you said something to me about it. If I'm not mistaken, I think you might have said, "Hey, you watched this show?" I might have gone and watched it. Like, that shit's great.
Because that's shit had me out of my seat when I first watched it. It was crazy, man. That fight with Spot was insane.
That Spot was not happening.
It was not.
Oh man,
that's a great review. I'm happy with it. I'm so happy that even with my low ass scoring, it still got a 9.3.
I think you did well though. I mean, for this to be a show of your top 5,
yeah,
I think you did well, and I think that's going to be a trend that we have here. Is that I can almost imagine that for our personal top 5s, we're going to be a lot more harsh on it ourselves than like the other might be. Because I can already tell you, like my number 1, I might rate that shit pretty low, bro.
So, okay.
I'll be real with you.
So speaking of that, do you want to take a break from reviewing and then the week after we do yours, or do you want to do yours next week?
Nah, let's not do it next week. Let's do like a week off and then
do yours and then
week off, every other week. Mine.
Okay, I like that. I like that. That's great. That's a great idea. The magic is being cooked live on the show. We normally do
live on the show.
We normally do that in After Story. So go check that out. You want to do the recap, brother?
All right. So we just reviewed one of our favorites, Grimgar. It got the mic check waifu stamp of approval at a 9.3. What's that? Put in there? What, our top 5?
It's crazy. It's number 5. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Then we talked about Gleipnir. Are we still hit or miss on that one? We kind of don't know yet.
Yeah, we
Then we had the Demon Slayer breaking records over here, bro. Oh my god, yo, this is gonna be a crazy year with Demon Slayer. They got a whole movie coming, a season 2 coming.
Yeah,
they about to really blow One Piece out the water.
Straight up.
I recommended Maria the Virgin Witch, and Polow recommended Another Slice of Life with Gamers. Then we still hyped about Tower of God.
Oh my god, dude, so good.
Hey, it's only gonna get better. UQ Holder, which Polow's already watched. I'm still gonna finish. I'll tell y'all about that next week. Polow talked about Hagane.
Yeah, Hagane, one of the two.
I talked about Cat Shit 1, which is about a bunch of rabbits shooting guns. So and then Polow with his One Piece update.
370, brothers
and sisters.
This has been episode 46 of Mic Check Waifu, and I am at Polow on all social media.
And I am at King Taliano on social media. On social media.
You can follow our social medias at Mic Check Waifu on Instagram and on Instagram, and Mic Check Waifu on Twitter. Thank y'all so much for listening to the show, and as always, Mic Check. Mic Check 1 2 1 2.
My sweet waifu.
Is that you?
One way or another.